Are we too hard on men? Are we too tough on them? Are we spending too much time trying to change them and not accepting them for the good that they do? I want to highlight the things about men that we need to be thankful for, that we need to be grateful for, that we need to encourage them more, that we need to have their back in a different way. Sometimes when all we do is criticize, put down, try to change, we don't recognize the characteristics in them that are so important and that we need. What's current during the making of this video is the Central Texas flooding situation where they got like 10 inches of rain in 1 hour, and now they are trying to find missing people. They probably, I know they found over 100, probably 150 now, who are no longer, and they are still unable to find like at least 150. So it's just a disaster. It's all over the news every single day, and it's really upsetting for everyone to see. Honestly, I can hardly watch it on the news because it's so upsetting. But the very few times that I've watched it on the news, I see men in the waters in very tough situations, and they are knee deep, they're swimming, they're in boats, they're doing the hard work trying to locate these people. Are we putting women out there to do that? No. I'm sure there are women who are helping with certain aspects of the recovery effort or helping people who are in crisis because of it or because of lost family members. But it's the men who are late into the night, early in the morning, grinding, like doing like emotionally difficult things that we as women take for granted. They are out there rescuing people. And that's how we look at men, as we look at them as our rescuers when we need help, when there's something tough or something that needs to be lifted or carried. We look at men to help us do those things. And the whole situation got me to thinking about how we treat men and how we need to treat them better and uplift them and accept them for who they are, because there's this movement right now where women want men to be quote unquote more like women. They want them to be emotional. I want you to meet my emotional needs in a relationship like my female friends do. They're not women, they're men. And it doesn't mean that they don't have compassion because they're not narcissists. So we're not talking about narcissistic level of uncaring. It's just they can put their feelings aside and become more objective when it comes to making decisions that don't involve their feelings. And sometimes we need people who can do that. If somebody is working at a job and they're horrible, a woman might have the tendency to be more subjective and say, oh my gosh, she won't be able to feed her family. And a guy can put that aside and look at it objectively. So even though we say we want them to be more emotional, be more attuned to my feelings, if that were the case, then they could not do what they're doing right now with this rescue mission where they're out here grinding and doing tough stuff that I don't even want to describe what they're finding. But we send men out there to do that, and then we criticize them for not being more emotional. We need them to be able to step out of emotions in many situations, and we're thankful for that, and we want them to do that. But then when it comes to relationships, we want them to be all things. And I don't know if that's fair. I don't know if that's fair to do. So it just gives you something to think about. Do you want your man to be the same as you? We play different roles. And when you raise children, they're going to enjoy having those different roles. I know as a kid, I liked having two parents, a mom and a dad, who played different roles in my life. It really helped because if I had both of each of them, however you say it, but like my dad was more level headed, laid back, cool, calm, collected, easygoing, not as emotional. My mom was way more emotional, but then she was going to jump in there and help me with every single little thing or make sure that my clothes were ironed and that I had food and all of the nurturing things. But it helped to have both sides of a coin and them not both trying to be all things. It was unnecessary. Now, they may have been frustrated with each other about some of that, but for me as a kid, it worked great. So I think instead of tearing men down the way that we tend to do, especially in relationships, I think we need to seek to understand them better. And we need to get used to that because I think we want something that we're not going to necessarily get, and then we're going to be disappointed. But that's what your friends are for. So we want them to play their role as man, as boyfriend, as husband. He may need a little independence. He may need his man cave. He may need some time to retreat and regroup. He may not multitask. He may do one thing at a time. He might be able to laser focus when it comes to certain things, like if something crazy happens, being able to turn off his emotions and rescue and take care of and jump in. We need him for those things that we love, but then we criticize him when he is a little bit more independent or needing a little bit of freedom. And notice the female in me is going a little bit of freedom and a little bit of independence because we want to be like, hey, we are with each other constantly. Give me my hug. Let me lay on you. Let me be like right under you all the time. And they might need some space to think about nothing. So it's kind of like if you try to write with your left hand, he's kind of your left hand. He isn't your right hand. And instead of feeling needy, like fearful avoidance can go into that needy side, that clingy, anxious side, where it's like, but I need you. I need to feel fulfilled. I need you to meet all of my needs. And as a woman, sometimes if I'm honest, which I like to do on this channel, I like to be honest and not lie about things. Sometimes I will feel like this man can fulfill my needs. Like I want him to fulfill that part of me, that piece of me that is unfulfilled without him. Like I do want him to meet all those needs. And people say, you need to come into the relationship already whole. Well, I kind of disagree with that too, because now you're teaching me to be in my avoidance state, which means that we're not really in a relationship. We're not connecting. We're not depending on each other. We're not enjoying each other's company. We're not enjoying the fact that we have each other for companionship and that we can cook together or eat together. But there needs to be a balance. It doesn't mean that I never ever get to need him or want him or snuggle with him. I'm sorry. I think a man does fulfill a part of a woman that makes her feel more whole. And I'm not saying that you should lean on him for everything, because like he has that tendency to want to feel some freedom and some independence and some space. And there's nothing wrong with that. So, but I think it's kind of a combination of both. So we have to kind of understand that masculine aspect of a man, of his need to want to lead his household, to want to be the leader and the take charge person. It doesn't mean that female energy should just go out the window and not take precedence also, because you're going to be the one that makes the house feel like home with your nurturing, loving, caring energy. But I was laughing because I just listened to a video that rolled into my YouTube feed, and this lady was talking about, do not let a man take over your business because he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't understand your business, but he'll brag about knowing how to or wanting to take it over, and then he destroys the whole thing. Do we give them credit when they elevate a business, when they make it better, when they collaborate with you so that you can get the optimal results? Do we give men credit for running successful organizations and businesses? This is what they've been doing forever, for way longer than women have. And not to say that women cannot lead and take charge. I met some phenomenal women who lead very well. But right now, if we're focusing on the man, they do a lot of times know what they're talking about when it comes to leading a business, helping you to be successful, being objective about some things, asking some tough questions so that you can be successful. Why would we want to totally discredit that? Why do we want to say that he doesn't care about me? He does care about you. If he's a narcissist, he may not. But men are going to care about situations like the Central Texas issue. If you think they don't care, that is a lie. And I know that you know that, but we like to put men in this cold category of not giving a crap when the fact is they do, and they put themselves out there all the time to rescue, to help, to assist. We all depend on them for so many things. So I think we just need to get an understanding of them. And if they're fearful, avoidant, then we can have some conversations with them about what's happening with them. They're probably going to lean more towards the avoidant side than the anxious side, but you will see them go into the anxious side as well, which as a woman, you might enjoy that more. But he's also going to leap into that avoidant side and figure some things out and then come back. So you kind of want to you kind of want to follow the fearful avoidance lead and show him that you trust in his ability to figure out some of his own problems and things that are holding him back. You want to try to let him lead in a way that builds confidence in him, where you're not getting upset. You're learning to not become upset about every little thing because you need more. You're feeling clingy and you want him to meet that need all the time. You kind of have to get used to, yes, you want that, but is it his nature to give you that all the time? I think he needs to give it to you as much as he can. I think he does need to check in with you, to give you hugs, give you what it is that you're needing. I think he needs to make a concerted effort to do that, but we also need to respect what do they need. Give him the chance to pursue. We say we want them to pursue and chase, but then we try to take over their role and control that and be like them. And I'm tough too, and I can do anything that a man can do. Well, that might be true, but is that romantic? Is that the thing that's going to turn him on? You're not a man, you're a female. We are different. We play different roles, and we need to respect each other's roles better and develop a tolerance. And I know tolerance is a strong word that sounds negative, but I mean it in a positive way, because we often try to push away the thing that we don't understand or the thing that frustrates us or that we don't want. But we need to give them the space to work, to protect, to earn money, to be the masculine role in the household, which means that he's not always going to be lovey-dovey. It also may mean that sometimes he wants you to be a little bit more independent and do your thing and not turn into a total child. And I say that with the deepest respect. What I mean, it's all of this is tricky to figure out, because it's like, if you don't need them for anything, you're also not awakening their masculine side. But at the same time, you can show him that you are confident in doing certain things and that you enjoy learning and many of the things that you do. This confidence is sexy. So we want to elevate that. We want to encourage it, not break it down. And a fearful avoidant man might do both things, where he kind of comes in and out. Let's say you're in one room of the house. He might feel like, I need some time to myself. But then he'll come down and give you kisses and sit with you for a few minutes. Then he might go away again, then come back down to visit you, and then go back away and come back down to visit you. So it's like, just as you are starting to feel a little needy, here he comes. So you want to praise him for the positive things that he does and enjoy it, instead of breaking him down and starting unnecessary fights. Let him be the man. For men who identify as fearful avoidant, reactions to love can be particularly nuanced. They may initially pursue relationships but later withdraw when they feel vulnerable or threatened. This behavior can stem from past experiences or a fear of being hurt, making it challenging for them to fully embrace love and intimacy. They might engage in self-sabotaging behaviors such as distancing themselves or avoiding deep conversations, which can lead to misunderstandings with their partners. In relationships, fearful avoidant men may experience, number one, mixed signals. They might express interest but then pull back when things become too intense. This can confuse their mates, who may interpret this as disinterest. 2. Emotional turmoil. The desire for connection can be overwhelming, resulting in anxiety about the relationship's future. They might overanalyze situations or worry excessively about their person's feelings. 3. Difficulty trusting. Trust issues can arise, making it hard for them to fully open up. They might share superficial aspects of themselves while keeping their deeper emotions hidden. 4. Struggle with commitment. Fearful avoidant individuals may struggle with long-term commitments, fearing that closeness will lead to vulnerability and potential heartbreak. To address these challenges, men with a fearful avoidant attachment style might benefit from self-reflection, therapy, and open communication with their partners. Understanding their attachment style can help them navigate their emotions and relationships more effectively, allowing for healthier connections and greater emotional fulfillment. Check out my other fearful avoidant videos for a juicy understanding of relationships. So hey, beautiful people, thanks for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments and what topics you want me to explore next. Your feedback means so much to me. Let's keep this adventure going. Don't break up with me. Be sure to subscribe and like the video. Check out my books on Amazon for insights on enhancing your love life, navigating narcissistic personalities, and exploring the 16 Myers-Briggs personality types. Links are in the description. You're amazing, and I can't wait to see you on the next video.